Public land hunting. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually going to sell a couple of my properties this year, and I'm going to get back into it because there's something satisfying about going and finding a buck that you don't even know exists. I don't want to say that managing properties gets a little bit old sometimes, but it's there's less excitement involved because you're like, yeah, on one of my 75 trail cameras, I've most likely got every deer on camera and I know what's around and there's no surprise. Big buck scouting in the summer. Whoo-wee. Like this is like, I think off-season scouting is definitely important, and I'm more so referring to the earlier winter time period. But guys, getting out and scouting this time of year is absolutely important. Now get out your bug spray, get out your tick spray, get out your, that reminds me, Landon, we got to make a video on some tick stuff. But get out your tick spray, tuck your pants in. It's time to get out and do some scouting. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing this time of year, guys, especially in an agriculture setting, is I'm going to be looking, and we're going to get to non-agriculture too, but I'm going to be looking for alfalfa fields. I'm going to be looking for bean fields. We're going to go and scout those fields. We're going to look for the big bucks. Okay. And once we look for the big bucks, guys, and we see that there's big bucks, we'll go into our maps before we put boots on the ground. We're going to go to our maps and we're going to look for topographical flow. What do I mean by topographical flow? If you're not putting their Topo Feature on your Onyx maps or whatever app you're using, I don't care if you live in Northeast Wisconsin or Southwest Wisconsin or hill country or not hill country, turn on your Topo Feature. I'm going to tell you why, because there's going to be a topographical flow most likely, or a topographical line even, maybe it's only one, that flows in and out of that that destination food source. And if we're in big hill country, maybe it's a ridge system. And then, like I said, if we're in flat ground country, maybe it's one topo line with a slight elevation change. Why do I want to find that? Because that is a form of edge habitat, believe it or not. That is a topographical change in which deer want to stay on the top of or travel parallel to, and that a lot of times will lead you to a bedding area. So once I found that, and I think I can hunt that on northwest, southwest, straight west winds, predominant winds, and I keep that in my mental algorithm, I'm going to go back and I'm going to scout these areas. And hopefully on the maps beforehand, I can zoom in, and I can even look at the canopy size of the trees and dictate whether that's good thick cover or not, and work my way back to that area. Being transparent with you guys, like, this is not a crazy, this isn't some like crazy tactic that like is going to require some crazy steps. Like, what I want you to do is go back to these areas, look for old sign, and when we get close to the point where we get close to these bedding areas and get to the point where we start seeing double-sided rubs, and maybe we can or can't see them because it's this time of year and it's super thick, that's where I want you to really stop, slow down, and pay attention to the licking branches. Okay, the licking branches that are coming off these trees at about eye height for you and I, to chest height, and see which ones are worked up or don't have leaves on them, even though the rest of them do. These are the places in which scrapes will be laid down later in the year. These are the places in which you should put your trail cameras right now. We're on public land. We probably can't put out mineral. I'd love it if you could, and if you can, you should. But that's what we need to need to be doing this time of year and start doing. So find the deer, look at your maps, look at the topographical flow, then look at the high stem count cover the best you can from your maps, dictate where these deer are, start heading that direction, look for boots on the ground sign, double-sided rubs, we're getting close. And most importantly, guys, don't stop scouting this time of year until you bump the dang bucks, okay? And when you bump those bucks, try and lock in on the damn tree that you saw them jump up from, or area you saw them jump up from. Go to that area and scour it for 5 minutes, couple steps. And when you find the area, maybe even the bed in which that buck was laying in, look around and see if you can't find 5 rubs, 6 rubs, 7 rubs, all while standing in one spot. Because if you can, welcome to the bedroom, guys. Now, here's the thing about buck bedding. Doesn't mean he's there every day. It doesn't mean he's every 10 days. Doesn't mean he's there every 20 days. But he does spend time there. And if we can put the intel together closer to season as to which direction he's coming out, and now we found out where the condensed sign is and where the scrapes and the licking branches and the double-sided rubs are, guys, you found where your bucks are. Now, if you are in hill country, pay a little bit more attention to the top third of a ridge, or a leeward ridge, or a ridge that jets out to the east, and that food is even farther to the east. And now westerly winds are blowing that way. So if you access from that food source and you enter into the timber towards that ridge point, the wind is in your favor. But the reason I bring up a ridge point is because it's an elevation change. It's a vantage point for bucks. And those are areas that I'm going to circle around and go scout this time of year as well. Now, if you're not in hill country, look for the thickets on the maps. Okay. And hopefully we have at least one topographical line that leads us from point A to point B. and leads us to some of these thickets. And then we probably figured this thing out, guys. But whether you're in hill country or flat ground country, like, turn on your topo feature, because even the slightest elevation change, and I promise you, I've seen this all over the country, can dictate whether a buck is traveling from point A to point B in a certain direction or a certain place. So guys, at the end of the day, go out, find the destination food source, do your map scouting, look at topographical flow, pay attention to predominant winds so that you can hunt these realistically during the year. Look for the double-sided rubs, look for the licking branch, look for the condensed buck sign. Most importantly, look for the buck. And when you do, guys, it's time to hang up maybe your trail cameras. And if you're not a trail camera guy, don't worry about it. Let's just put these puzzle pieces together. Think about the food source that's out there. Think about the time of the year in which it's palatable, and go in there and hunt accordingly. Guys, at the end of the day, guys, like, it stinks to go out this time of year and get just absolutely bombarded by ticks, chiggers, snakes, and up here, the mosquitoes and everything else. But I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, if you can do that, there's a dang good chance you especially kill an early season buck, maybe an opening day buck, all because of the scouting that you did during the month of June.